A wood deck gives a traditional warm look to the exterior of your home, but it needs protection from the elements. The best way to preserve its beauty and function is to stain it with a high-quality product. We're here in Huntersville, North Carolina with Vince Petropalo to talk about how to keep this beautiful deck looking like $1 million without it costing you that amount. Welcome to Designing Spaces, Vince.
Hi, Brian. Glad to be here.
So a lot of people own a wooden deck, and after a time they deteriorate, they get unhealthy looking. What causes that?
Well, your deck is outside, so it's going to be exposed to all the natural elements. Rain, the sun, the wind, snow, and over time, rain can get into your deck and cause it to warp, splinter, or crack. The sunlight can damage your deck. It can cause it to gray and discolor and splinter and crack as well. Mold and mildew can actually break down the structural integrity of your deck over time. So you want to make sure that it's protected.
So what is the process involved in keeping a deck healthy looking?
Two very easy steps, Brian. The first step is to clean and restore your deck, and the second step is to protect and beautify it with a stain.
So let's talk about the first step. What do I do? Just go get a pressure washer and blast it off?
Actually, you don't want to do that, but that's just going to make the situation worse. That's right. Because what a pressure washer is going to do is it's just going to take all the dirt and mildew that's sitting on your deck and drive it down into the wood fibers of the deck, which is going to prevent it from having that nice looking finish when you put the stain on it.
So how do I clean my deck?
You want to use a deep penetrating heavy duty deck cleaner, such as Olympic, that has a proprietary formula. It's got a lot of detergents and cleaning agents in it that are going to lift all that dirt and mildew up to the surface and allow you to easily wash it away.
So basically it's going to get down into the cracks and get the stuff out.
That's right.
And then, so what kind of time are we talking about? I know you had a crew here yesterday working with this deck. How long did it take them to go through the process of cleaning?
Our crew did this in about 2 to 3 hours yesterday. But normally a deck this size you could easily do in an afternoon, probably 3 to 4 hours for one person.
So take me through the process that they went through in cleaning the deck.
Well, they used a deep penetrating deck cleaner, and what they did is applied it with a garden style pump sprayer that you can buy at any hardware store. You simply pour the deck cleaner into the sprayer, apply it, allow it to stand for 20 to 30 minutes, and then rinse it away with a garden hose.
And that's it?
That's it.
So what if I have areas where I've had like planters or things like, mildew buildup, areas like that? What do I do there?
And we had some of those areas on this deck. Since it's shaded from the sun, we had a lot of mildew build up and some areas where we had planters and dirt build up, and in those cases we applied the deck cleaner a second time and we scrubbed it off.
Now the next step would be the fun part, basically staining the deck.
That's right. Staining is the fun part, so we're ready to tackle that part next.
So you got your crew set and ready to go?
We brought them back. They're ready to go.
Let's go take a look. So Vince, before we call the crew in to get started, I guess the biggest decision the homeowner has to make is what color to choose.
That is the biggest decision, Brian, and you want the color to match your home and the surrounding elements, and that's where Olympic is fantastic. They've got a great color palette, well over 100 colors to choose from. They've got them all in these very nice brochures so you can see the colors next to each other. And if you're having trouble finding just the perfect color for you, they've got this great sample packet program where you can buy 3 or 4 or 5 different colors, test them out, and then find that perfect one for your deck.
So you can really narrow it down.
That's right.
At that point, I guess I'm choosing tools to stain my deck with. What would I be looking for there?
And that's a very simple process as well. You're going to be using brushes, roller, paint tray, safety goggles and gloves, and this is a really neat tool right here. This is a staining mitt. You just put this on, dip it into the stain, and it allows you to do your railings and lattice work very easily.
I bet it's terrific for pickets as well.
Oh, it is. It's fantastic for pickets.
Well, let's call the guys in and get started.
Yeah, let's get these guys to work.
Wow, Vince, that's going to be a beautiful color.
It is a beautiful color, Brian. This homeowner has chosen a semi-transparent stain in a beautiful redwood color.
So how do you bring out such a strong color?
Well, the special pigments used in the Olympic stains were formulated to bring out the clarity of the color and bring out the natural beauty of the wood.
I know this homeowner's chosen a semi-transparent, but what if I wanted a more natural look, or maybe all the way up to a solid look?
If you wanted a natural wood look without any color, you would use a clear sealer. If you wanted to add a little bit of color, but still allow the wood grain and texture to show through, you would use a toner. If you wanted even more color, you would use a semi-transparent stain like this homeowner has chosen. And if you wanted a rich opaque color, you would use a solid color stain. Now, right now, the guys are working on the railings first. They're applying the stain using the staining mitt that we showed earlier. It's very easy to do. You just dip it into the stain, put it directly onto the railings.
Can you spray a stain in, or is it better to roll it and brush it in?
You could spray it on, you could roll it on, but we always recommend back brushing regardless of whatever method you use, because brushing it on is going to give you a deeper penetrating and clearer looking finish.
So basically I want to work from the top down, from the rails down to the deck.
That's right. You want to start from the top and work down, doing a few boards at a time, making sure that you do the entire length of the boards before you move on.
Why do I want to do the entire length of the board?
Well, you want to avoid doing chunks all the way across, because if you do that, you'll get what are known as lap marks, which are marks that can happen when you stain a section and it dries and then you start another section.
So how long is it going to take to stain this deck?
Our guys here are going to be able to finish this deck probably in about 3 to 4 hours.
So if I was doing this myself, I'd be looking pretty much an afternoon.
Yeah, you could easily do it in an afternoon yourself.
So how long should I stay off of it?
You want to stay off of it for about a day. And one more tip just for you, Brian, don't stain yourself into a corner.
Very impressive, Vince. Your crew did a great job.
They did. It looks fabulous. And as you can see, Brian, it did not take us long at all.
Now, how long will a finish like this last?
Depending on the conditions, should last about 5 to 7 years.
And then take a weekend, do it again.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Brian.
For Designing Spaces, I'm Brian Hyder.